Hello everyone. Today we will deal with chemical reactions of phenols. There are various chemical reactions which are given by phenols. I will take all the reactions one by one. The first chemical reaction given by phenol is electrophilic substitution reaction. Electrophilic substitution reaction. The name itself suggests that there will be substitution of an electrophile. Electrophile are those species which are themselves positively charged and get attracted towards a negative charge. Wherever they get a negative charge, they get attracted towards it. Now in case of phenol, if you look at the general structure of the phenol consists of this hydroxyl group attached to the benzene ring, and this carbon is sp2 hybridized. Now in this case, the presence of this hydroxyl group is there, which activates the benzene ring towards the electrophilic substitution reaction. So why phenol gives electrophilic substitution reaction? The reason is that the presence of this hydroxyl group only activates the benzene ring towards the electrophilic substitution reaction. I'll explain you that by drawing the resonating structures below. This is phenol. Keep drawing the resonating structures along with me in your rough notebook. So here you can see that the negative charges come on which position? Ortho position. Here the negative charges at which position? Para position. Further, when electron delocalization occur, here again the ortho position, and when then the last delocalization occur, you get your phenol back. Okay. So if you look at the resonating structure, you can see that the negative charge is there at the ortho and the para position. At ortho and the para positions, and due to presence of this negative charge, the benzene ring can undergo electrophilic substitution reaction in case of phenol. Now the electrophilic substitution reactions in phenols are of various types. The first electrophilic substitution reaction that takes place in phenol is nitration. Nitration, the name itself suggests that the electrophile will be nitro, that will undergo the substitution reaction in phenol. Now look at the reaction of nitration that takes place in case of phenol. When phenol undergo the reaction, nitration reaction in presence of dilute nitric acid or concentrated nitric acid, but in both the cases, when which type of acid is being used, the product will be different. So when phenol is treated with dilute nitric acid, then it will form ortho and para nitrophenol. So it will form ortho nitrophenol and para nitrophenol. So when it is treated with dilute nitric acid, it will form ortho nitrophenol and it will form para nitrophenol. Two products are being formed. Now these two products which are being formed can be separated by steam distillation. They can be separated by steam distillation. How the separation occurs is, this product, that is the ortho product which is being formed, is a steam volatile product. Okay, whereas this para product is less volatile. So they can be separated by steam distillation process, and the ortho product that is being formed is steam volatile, whereas the para product is less volatile. Now why the ortho product that is being formed is steam volatile? The reason for this is, in ortho product, if you look, the type of hydrogen bonding is intramolecular hydrogen bonding. There is intramolecular hydrogen bonding is there. Okay, look at this hydrogen bonding. I am opening the structure of nitro. And you can see this, the dashed lines represents the intramolecular hydrogen bonding in orthonitrophenol. Whereas the para product is less volatile when the separation of these products occur by steam distillation. This is so because in case of para product, there is intermolecular hydrogen bonding. You all are aware of hydrogen bondings, but I just give you a revision again. Hydrogen bonding means a bond that is formed between hydrogen and an electronegative element. Okay, it can be of two types, that is the intramolecular hydrogen bonding and intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Intermolecular hydrogen bonding means when hydrogen bondings occur between two different molecules, whereas the intramolecular hydrogen bonding means the hydrogen bonding that occurs within the same molecules. Okay, so if you look here, this is the intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Within the same molecule, the hydrogen bonding is taking place, whereas this is inter, like you have an inter-school debate competition, that is between two schools. So similarly, intermolecular means between the two different molecules. So this dashed line represents the hydrogen bonding. So because of this intermolecular hydrogen bonding, they are less volatile towards steam, whereas because of intramolecular hydrogen bonding, they are steam volatile. Ortho products are steam volatile. So this is the nitration reaction that takes place in presence of dilute nitric acid, giving you ortho as well as the para products. But in case the nitration reaction takes place in presence of concentrated nitric acid. If the nitration reaction takes place in presence of concentrated nitric acid, then in that case you will get 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. That is, the substitution will take place at all the three positions. You will get 2,4,6 trinitrophenol when the reaction is taking place in presence of concentrated nitric acid. This 2,4,6 trinitrophenol is also called as picric acid. You might have heard picric acid. So picric acid is your 2,4,6 trinitrophenol, which is obtained by the nitration reaction, that is the electrophilic substitution reaction of phenol. The next electrophilic substitution reaction that is given by phenol is halogenation. Halogenation means addition of halogen. Now this reaction, look at the reaction. This is phenol. Phenol will undergo halogenation reaction. Let the halogen be bromine. This reaction takes place in presence of a low polarity solvent. The solvent will be less polar. Low polarity solvent like carbon disulfide or chloroform can also be used. So when this reaction, halogenation reaction, occur in case of phenol, again it gives two product, that is ortho as well as the para product. The substitution will take place at ortho as well as at the para. But this para form that is formed is a major product, whereas this ortho form will be the minor product. So it gives both the ortho as well as para, ortho bromophenol and para bromophenol. The para product is the major one, whereas ortho is the minor one. So this reaction is taking place in presence of low polarity solvent and giving you ortho and para product. In case if the phenol undergo reaction with bromine water, the reaction of phenol with bromine water. Okay, so when phenol undergo reaction with bromine water, then it will give you 2,4,6 tribromophenol. That is, the substitution will take place at both the ortho and the para position. So you get this product 2,4,6 tribromophenol. The reaction takes place at your all the three positions. So this is how the substitution reactions takes place in case of phenol. So phenols give electrophilic substitution reaction because the hydroxyl group that is present on the phenol will activate the benzene ring towards such electrophilic substitution reaction, and that I explained you by using the resonating structure. The next reaction that I will take for the phenols is Kolbe's reaction. Kolbe's reaction is given by the phenoxide ion. You all are familiar with the phenoxide ion. Phenoxide ion is this. This is phenol. This is your phenoxide ion. So Kolbe's reaction is given by phenoxide ion, and phenoxide ion is more stable or more reactive. Phenoxide ion is a stable form. Stability of phenoxide I already explained you in the last video by the resonating structures of phenoxide ion. So phenoxide ion is more reactive towards the electrophilic substitution reaction than that of the phenol. So it undergo the electrophilic substitution reaction with CO2, that is a weak electrophile. That is a weak electrophile. So Kolbe's reaction is also a electrophilic substitution reaction only, in which the phenoxide ion is undergoing the reaction with a weak electrophile, that is carbon dioxide. Just look at the reaction. Phenol. First I'll explain the reaction. The phenol is when treated with sodium hydroxide. First I am making how phenoxide is being formed. This is phenol. This is sodium phenoxide. This sodium phenoxide further treated with the electrophile, and the next step, acidification. I am taking both the steps together, as a result of which you get the final product. The electrophile will come at the ortho position, okay, will acquire the ortho position. The final product is this, that is you get salicylic acid, or also called as 2-hydroxy benzoic acid. 2-hydroxybenzoic acid means this is carbon 1, this is 2, second position is having a hydroxyl group. So this is the Kolbe's reaction. Kolbe's reaction in which the phenoxide ion undergo electrophilic substitution reaction with the weak electrophile, okay, and this is how the reaction takes place. The first step I have explained you the formation of sodium phenoxide, then the reaction with the electrophilic substitution reaction followed by acidification, giving you the final product, that is salicylic acid. Now the next reaction that is given by phenol is Reimer-Tiemann reaction. The next reaction is Reimer-Tiemann reaction. Reimer-Tiemann reaction involves the addition of CHO group. CHO is your aldehyde group at ortho position of phenol. So this reaction involves the CHO group. It involves the introduction of CHO group at the ortho position of phenol. Just look at the reaction, how the reaction takes place. This is phenol. Treated with chloroform and sodium hydroxide. The sodium hydroxide used here is aqueous sodium hydroxide. AQ means aqueous sodium hydroxide. Look at the complete reaction. I have placed this in a square bracket, means this is an intermediate of the reaction. You all are aware with the intermediate. Whenever reaction takes place, from reactant to product, an intermediate is formed. This intermediate name is benzyl chloride. Now this intermediate is further treated with sodium hydroxide, and in the last step it undergo acidification. And as a result of this, you finally get your product. This is called as salicyldehyde. Okay, so this is your Reimer-Tiemann reaction. Reimer-Tiemann reaction is the reaction in which a CHO group is introduced at the ortho position of phenol. The reaction takes place in presence of chloroform and aqueous sodium hydroxide, and the intermediate that is formed in Reimer-Tiemann reaction is benzyl chloride. So this was the third reaction. Next reaction is reaction of phenol with zinc dust. The fourth reaction is reaction with zinc dust. Phenol when treated with zinc. This is phenol. When treated with zinc, it gives you benzene. You get benzene and zinc oxide. So reaction of phenol with zinc dust gives you benzene. The last reaction of phenol is oxidation reaction. Oxidation reaction of phenol. When phenol undergo oxidation reaction, the oxidizing agent that is used to bring about the reaction is chromic acid. Chromic acid is used to bring about the reaction, and as a result of this oxidation reaction, a diketone is formed from phenol. Phenol gives you a diketone. Diketone means two ketonic groups will be there, and its name is benzoquinone. Just look at the reaction. Phenol. Reaction takes place in presence of chromic acid. As a result of this oxidation of phenol, it gives you a diketone. This is a diketone, and name of this diketone is benzoquinone. Okay, so here we finish the chemical reactions of phenol. So phenols give electrophilic substitution reaction. Then electrophilic substitution reaction includes your nitration and halogenation reaction. Then phenol gives Kolbe's reaction, Reimer-Tiemann reaction, reaction with zinc dust, and the last reaction was your oxidation reaction. Now I will take a small topic, commercially important alcohols. Commercially important alcohols. This is the last topic of alcohols and phenols portion. Okay. Here I will take two alcohols which are commercially used. The first is methanol. The formula for methanol is, it was earlier produced by destructive distillation of wood. This was the oldest method, okay? Destructive distillation of wood was the oldest method that was used to prepare methanol. Today, nowadays, methanol is prepared by hydrogenation method. So it is prepared by using hydrogenation method. So what we do, we bring about the hydrogenation of carbon monoxide. Okay, just look at the reaction. In the reaction only I'll explain you what will be the temperature, pressure, and what will be the catalyst. So it's bring about the hydrogenation of carbon monoxide. This is carbon monoxide. It undergo hydrogenation. The reaction takes place in presence of a catalyst. The catalyst is this. The reaction takes place at a temperature of 573 to 673 Kelvin temperature and 200 to 300 atmospheric pressure. So when this carbon monoxide undergo hydrogenation, it will give you methanol. So earlier destructive distillation of wood was the method that was to be used, but today it is prepared by using catalytic hydrogenation of carbon monoxide. Catalytic because the catalyst is being used. Now this methanol is used in for various purposes. The uses of methanol is used as a solvent in your paints. It is used for making formaldehyde. HCHO is formaldehyde. Methanol is used for various things. Used for making varnishes, as a solvent in varnishes also. But this methanol is a colorless liquid and it is very poisonous. Methanol is very poisonous. If you ingest that, the ingestion may causes blindness, chronic problems, and finally it may leads to death also. So this is methanol. This is all about methanol. So it is prepared. It is earlier prepared by destructive distillation of wood. but nowadays it is prepared by catalytic hydrogenation, and its uses are used as a solvent in paints, varnishes, and used to prepare formaldehyde, and it is a colorless liquid and very poisonous. Okay. Now next commercial important alcohol that I will discuss is ethanol. The common alcohol that is used for drinking is also ethanol, although some changes are being done in the chemical compositions to use it for various purposes. Okay, just look here. Ethanol. The common formula for ethanol is earlier. So ethanol, the oldest method that is used to prepare ethanol is fermentation of sugar. Fermentation of sugar. So look at the reactions which are involved in this method. This fermentation of sugar is carried out by enzyme invertase. This is the sugar that is extracted from some of the fruits or sugar cane. Okay, so by enzyme invertase it gives you glucose and fructose. Glucose and fructose, and this is obtained from this is the sugar that is obtained from the sugar cane and fruits. Now this glucose and fructose that has been obtained will further undergo reaction by zymase. Enzyme zymase is used, that is extracted from yeast. So this glucose and fructose will finally, when treated with zymase, will give you the final product, that is ethanol. Okay, so fermentation of sugar is the oldest method that is used to prepare ethanol. In this, the sugar is first that is extracted from your sugar cane or some of the fruits like grapes will undergo fermentation in presence of invertase enzyme, giving you glucose and fructose, which when treated with zymase gives you ethanol. Ethanol is also a colorless liquid. It has no color. It is also used in paint industries. Okay, it is used as solvent in paint industries. And commercial alcohol, this is commercial ethanol, is made unfit for drinking, because if somewhere if this ethanol product is being used and people started using it for drinking purpose, then in order to reduce that thing, the ethanol is being made poisonous, that is by adding copper sulfate and pyridine to it. So by adding these two things, ethanol will become unfit for drinking. Okay, no longer you can drink it. If you drink it, it will harm to your body. So this process of adding these copper sulfate and pyridine to the ethanol to make it unfit for drinking is known as denaturation of alcohol. It's known as denaturation of alcohol. That is, the original nature is being destroyed. So denaturation of alcohol. So denaturation of alcohol is being done. Now fermentation was the oldest method and is also used nowadays also to prepare ethanol. But other than this fermentation, a new method is being introduced, that is hydration of ethene. You can also prepare ethanol by bringing about hydration of ethene. Okay, so here we finish the alcohols and phenols. In the next video I will discuss ethers. Thank you so much.